All right, everybody, I am jumping back in here. Um Looks like there was a shooting at a church in Michigan. So I just caught this and decided I'd go ahead and do a possible live reaction to it because I already know that other people's going to come out on it with gun control and stuff. So before I get into this, yeah, there is situations where we need to figure something out about the guns, but people also need to realize what the Second Amendment's for too. It's not just about government; it's also about protecting yourselves. Also, reason why you got to think twice about that before we get into this is, from what I understood, with some of the reporting was that there. I'll just give what I kind of know already. A truck, some guy in a truck rammed a church in Michigan, and there was supposedly a bomb in the truck or something that caught the church on fire. But whenever he rammed his truck in, he also got out and started shooting at people that was at mass in the church. So yes, this is bad. This just keeps happening. It keeps getting worse. But they always target these. They always target groups of people where there really is no security. There's really no protection. That's what they want. They want mass casualties. They really do. But whenever you look at it, as far as the Second Amendment goes, you can look at other countries. There are countries that we might be able to do something. I don't know if we lost our mind that far or not. Like Switzerland, maybe, or I definitely wouldn't put England in there, but Switzerland definitely, or Sweden. They don't necessarily have this much problems. But the reason why I was saying that on the Second Amendment was because you look at Mexico, you have drug cartels. If you look at a lot of second world countries where they're not allowed to really have guns, uh, you do have instances where criminals do get guns and they still commit these type of acts. And then you don't have a population that can actually fight back. You're reliant on the law enforcement and whether or not they can get there and whether or not there's enough of them to do anything. So I would have to say having some armed personnel at these places or gathering more than one person, like 2 or 3 people, uh, might work. I don't know what to say, but like in this situation here, even if you took the guns out of the equation, you just heard that he also had a bomb in the truck. So this is basically, you know what mission. So I don't think I can say that word on YouTube. It starts with an S, but you should be able to. I mean, you should be able to say what the hell's going on without having to play word salad like Kamala Harris does. Anyway, this is important, so let's go ahead and get into this. Maybe. Did I just lose my audio?
Usually fully engulfed. That's the technical word for it, meaning that they have to, they can contain it. Obviously, I don't know if this is in a residential area or not. It looks like there are a number of trees there, but they have to contain the fire. It looks like they do. The fire department knows what they're doing. You know, there could be water issues, there could be a lot of different issues, but that fire's got to get out, and that's going to take a while. But it looks like if the roof there, it could be quite a loss. And as far as, Lori, what you were talking about gathering evidence, that's a very key part of this investigation.
And one thing we want to stress too, this is live video. So this, you're watching it as we are watching it. Charlie, you mentioned that typically at any
I'm going to
type
fast
of, I guess we
forward
could call
through
it a
some of
crime
this.
scene, definitely a fire. You know, I mean,
Right.
we've been covering this since about 11:30. Well, actually, it was during my stream. So about 11:15, 11:20 is when we first got information about the active shooter. If this fire has been going on for that long, like you said, 4-alarm fire, that's huge.
Yeah.
But also we're thinking about the potential for victims. We've been told that initially Our reports were that there were 6 to 8 victims at this point,
I think there was
and
9
that
and
there,
1 dead.
again, the shooter
Some are
himself
children.
is down. We are working to confirm the amount of victims. And Charlie, we saw people taken out on stretchers, so we have to think that there's been some injuries as well associated with this.
Paslak tol, dito ka na sa Buenas. Secure and legit.
Sorry,
May
skip
24/7
this.
The problem is we're just trying to get set here.
Yes.
Now it looks like, as you can see there, is in custody.
Right.
Or if there's any other shooter, or if there's any other danger to the public. Now, we've been told there's no danger to the public. However, we want to make sure that that's the case. The fact that is different with this is that there's that fire. And you've got to, we can't block the roads.
shooter's
We
been
have to have all of our
neutralized,
equipment
so
out of the way
that
so that they can
doesn't
free
mean
up that
in
road in case
custody,
they
I
have to
don't
either get
believe. I
personnel
believe
in
that
or
means
out of the situation.
gone.
But there's certainly an assessment we want to make, and then we look for witnesses. Are there any witnesses to tell us what happened? Credible off the area and determining that at this point in time it's safe. But as you can see, we're quite a distance now away from the fire. So I would suspect that when Ingrid Kelly first arrived, the police said, you're too.
Crews are working. They can't really give us much information because they're right there on the scene.
And the other thing too is obviously what caused the fire. Is the fire related to the shooting?
Grand
Is there a
Lake.
relationship? Did the shooter set the fire, etc.? Some of that's going to have to be determined. I'm guessing by the arson team that will go out and do an assessment after they put out the fire. You can see Ingrid
Going
Kelly.
live now. You can see Ingrid's right there on the scene. Hopefully, she'll be getting some information.
She probably, I don't know if she can hear us right now, but she's right up to that yellow tape and right by the number of issue. This is a police officer, looks like from the Davison Police Department, as I understand it. Maybe she can just do a phone.
Rendon.
She's probably
And just talk to me about what police agency are you from?
Davison Township Police, yes. We were advised of an active shooter situation at a church down here. It was active while it was active while it was happening. I sent out a text to all our guys, everybody go, everybody on duty, everybody off duty, everybody in and gone, including myself. So got here, the church was on fire, the gunman was down, and it's just been a very busy scene, as you can imagine.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank
yep.
you.
All right, mine really quick. Go ahead. I got. Situation. The shooter is down. Right now, we're trying to go through, take care of any casualties and anybody needing medical. So it's a very active situation. But again,
Okay.
right now it's just a investigation, very active investigation.
Ongoing
So-
fire?
Yes, it's a big fire.
And you are, I'm sorry?
Davison Township Police Chief Jay Rendon. Okay. Yep. All right. Can I have somebody step on one end of that?
All right. Excuse me.
All right, so we have some additional information. Ingrid was interviewing Jay Rinder.
Thank you,
said
sir.
that the shooter is down, as you mentioned, Charlie. There are some casualties. This is an active situation.
I say we just break down
active
to that.
investigation.
Let me see what they
Fire is
want.
ongoing as well. We're hoping to get some additional.
And then we just wait. You got it.
Basically,
we gotta go.
Okay,
We gotta get to
okay,
that.
let's go.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, all right then.
He may not know either. So the other issue is which police authority takes the lead. Generally speaking, that is an issue actually. Generally speaking, it's obviously it's the city that it's in, but not.
to stay out of the area.
I'm gonna go
that
ahead
there were
and move
several
forward with
victims
this.
associated with this, and that the shooter was down. And we just have confirmation
See if
from
there's,
Jay Rinder that as well.
any more
Well, the
information about
hotspots.
the
So
details.
it's interesting on the hotspots. That's why the wind factor is a big factor for us. Because again, this is still a crime scene at this point in time, and the police still have to do an investigation. Fire, and it was an extensive fire, a 4-alarm fire. Looks like people right there were evacuated from the church.
is a place of worship is a cowardly and criminal act. Our prayers
course it
are
is.
with the victims as well as their
That's what they
families during
want,
this
though.
tragedy. So, you know, a lot of people starting to react. Word starting to get out all across the country, not just here in Michigan. A lot of people are paying attention to this. We do know that there's a number of investigators, state, federal, local investigators are all working on this. So it really is all hands on deck. We're going to try and bring you that interview with that gentleman who was racing away from the scene when his vehicle was shot by the suspect. Take a listen.
On the phone with him when the shooter came out the door, and then that's when I just put pedal to the metal to try to get out, and that's when he started shooting at our vehicle, and that's what we saw there.
And tell me what led up, like what did you see leading up to your windshield kind of exploding or the bullet coming through?
Church had started at 10 o'clock. We had our opening congregational hymn. We were getting ready to take the sacrament, and we heard just a loud bang. And then we saw that the front wall, so the front part of the chapel, the wall was cracked. And so we at first figured somebody accidentally had done something. So we started rushing out to go help. And then as soon as I saw the American flags on the truck, and that it was on purpose, and somebody yelled that it was on purpose, we were actually on the phone with him when the shooter came out the door. And then
Something's weird about this.
And that again was a man who was at the.
I did see a video earlier, and the truck had 2 American flags in the back. Something's not adding up. I guess we'll get more details a little bit later.
Church when the shooting broke out this morning. Again, we are awaiting a press conference in which we're hoping to get a lot more details about exactly what happened this morning. At this point, I can tell you, and I know a bunch of reporters at the station started getting texts from our sources and calls from our sources right around 11 o'clock this morning. And that is when that gunfire broke out at the Church of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. Again, we do know that multiple victims were shot. We're still waiting to hear an exact number, still waiting to hear an exact condition. We do know that the suspect is down. Exactly what that means, we're still trying to figure that out at this point. Still trying to figure out whether the suspect is just in custody, whether he has actually been injured. So hopefully we'll get some clarity on that during that press conference. And we do know that the church is on fire right now. Police are currently dealing with that. And the sheriff of Genesee County not too long ago, he went to Facebook. He's really good about updating the public. He did go to Facebook, letting them know exactly what is going on. And the sheriff of Genesee County, Chris Swanson, describing this as a very dynamic scene with lots of people involved in this. He said multiple police agencies are involved. They're obviously dealing with a shooting, a fire, just a lot happening all at once. And he said that this is the type of thing that we train for, all of this happening all at once. And as I mentioned, this is something that we went through training at our station earlier this week to tell us exactly what we're supposed to do in a situation like this. So it'll
just to calm them down. I did ask if anyone would talk to me. They said at a later time. Then I made my way closer to the church. It is just a cloud of black smoke coming from that church. The closer we got, eventually emergency crews told us that we had to get back. Then we were able to speak to Jay Rendon from the Davison Township Police Department. And what he said, he was at home. Like most people today, they were gearing up for this Lions game. And then that's when they got the call that this was going on.
I'll let you go. Thank you so much for that on the scene reporting.
His vehicle
There
through
we go. Let's
earlier.
see what they got to
so
say.
many questions right now about what is going
They're not
on
gonna be
concerning
answered right
the
away.
shooting. Now, from the interview that we had from the gentleman who was shot, it does process to
Robin, it
happen.
looks like we're afterwards. Let's listen in right now.
Yeah.
Grambling Township Police Chief William Rennie. It's R-E-N-Y-E. Here to give you some preliminary details on an incident that happened earlier today at 10:25 a.m. within Grambling Township. First off, I'd like to say our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of this incident, which is completely unnecessary and avoidable.
This is
The incident that we're going to talk about here today, as I said, was happened at 10:25 a.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is located at 4285 McCandless Road. During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grambling Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton. During all this incident as well, there was a fire that occurred, and we believe that was deliberately set by the suspect. We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure. That fire was just extinguished by the Grambling Township Fire Department within the past hour. So where we go from here is we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We have the FBI, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information, statements that we have to obtain. So I'd like to thank all the agencies who responded, the City of Grambling, Genesee County, Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Flint Township Police Department, the DNR, the State Police, and the ATF. I will provide additional information for you at 5 p.m., but I am willing to take any questions that you have that I could possibly answer right now.
Chief, can you talk about the kind of the progress of events? Did the suspect set the fire
10
back
hospitalized.
inside the vehicle and then ran the front door, or did it all happen at the same time?
So from what I understand, and again, this is just a preliminary investigation right now, from what I have been briefed on, is that he rammed the vehicle through the front door, exited, then started firing shots. We are still trying to determine exactly when and where that fire ended up coming from and how it got started. So we believe it was deliberately set, though, by the suspect.
Were they in an active service when this happened?
Yes, the service was active. There was hundreds of people within the church.
Are you sure it's only one suspect at this point, or is it possible other people helped setting the fire for him?
Yes, it is one suspect that we know of at this point. We do not believe that there's a threat to the public. We believe that we have the guy who did this. Sir.
Could you comment at all on the severity of the injuries at this time?
We have a couple in critical condition. Like I said, one is deceased. The rest of them are in stable condition.
So a couple, maybe three or two, I'm sorry?
One deceased. The suspect is deceased as well. And then
All right.
multiple victims are in critical condition.
So
we do believe that we will find some additional victims once we find the area where the fire. It was a great job by our staff. Thank you.
Chief, before you step out, can you go over the process with family members? Where
Okay.
you want
Oh,
to go,
here's the fire.
Yeah. So
let's take a look
appears
at it.
that he deliberately set this church on fire, and that the police chief believes that there may be more victims inside the church after they go in there. And Robin, I mean, we saw the pictures, the video earlier. That was a fully engulfed church. I can't imagine anyone survived.
Charlie, we do have some new video that just came into our newsroom that we can show you right now. I mean, just take a look at the plumes of smoke and the fire coming from that church right now. Just an unbelievable scene. Just, you know, I'm sure you could see that smoke billowing for miles and miles, you know, just letting you know just how horrific the situation is. Again, police do believe that this fire was purposely set by the suspected shooter in this case. So just trying to figure out the timeline, though.
Some stuff, it just doesn't matter what you do.
Exactly.
You'll have this.
Happened prior to the shooting, after the shooting, in the middle of the shooting. Again, all of that still yet to be determined and will likely become much clearer during that press conference at 5 o'clock.
And how this fire got so out of hand. Usually you set a little something on fire and it's contained to one particular area, but this fire is a tremendous fire that we say is fully engulfed. I think that's a fair statement here. Once the roof goes and you can see the flames and the smoke, and it's a relatively
we'll find out what he
big
used.
Church. But the hundreds of people
it was something
were
in the
in
truck
the church
or if he
at
had
the time,
Molotovs or
and that's
what.
key. He certainly knew presumably knew what he was doing when he set this fire at a church service on a Sunday of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township.
Now, Charlie, this does appear to be very calculated, very planned out. Police are saying that he arrived at the church right around 10:25 in the morning, and that he ran his vehicle into the front doors of that church, then got out and started firing at the many parishioners inside. You know, there were hundreds and hundreds of parishioners that were seated for this service inside the Church of Latter-day Saints in Grand.
Yeah, because this is an active scene.
Yeah, go ahead and kind of.
O'clock.
4285 McCandless Road.
Yeah, this
During
is
this
same
now,
thing.
one of them deceased. A couple of other issues that the authorities are going to have to figure out is who the shooter is. We know he's a 40-year-old man from Burton.
And really kind of tell these agents, FBI agents, what they saw, what they heard to help with this investigation. So that's one thing that we did learn. We also learned that although right now they're telling us 10, they believe that there are more victims. Unfortunately, that fire, there were people around that fire, and they believe that some of those people
I don't think there's going to be a lot more on this right now.
Weapons been recovered. Don't know if the ammunition, the bullets have been recovered. A lot. Ballistics can tell. Usually they call
40-year-old and eliminate.
And blank, and immediately we all received the messages. Immediately, we're in our panic mode. That's our family. Not to get into too much detail, but my coworkers attend there, their children attend there, our family attends there, and we're getting calls that our coworkers are affected by this. Again, I won't go into detail, but we're being pushed away by Henry Ford. We want to be in there, we want to be helping, and there's babies. I'm sorry, I take my kids' precious.
On a Sunday morning, and hundreds of people were in attendance. We know that people from hundreds of years. We've got Camille now, who's near the scene talking with Charlie Langton. Charlie, what do we
don't think there's anything.
Camille, I've got Camille on the phone right.
It's just unbelievable. I didn't know the guy. I seen maybe once or twice seeing a gentleman bringing the trash to the front. Other than that, nothing. I don't know anything about him, but from conversations I've had with a few people here, they said he was a veteran. He would help out young kids with, like baseball leagues and football and things like that. And he is just like, it's just unbelievable. You never know what a person is going through. You never know what is going on in a person's mind.
Yeah, what's your reaction? What do you think? What goes through your mind when you pull up and see this right outside your apartment?
I don't really give a shit on that. I mean, to actually do something like this is premeditated. That means it creates, or you have to think to set it up. You know what the hell you're doing. This is just acts of pure evil. I don't know. have no idea. It's, I can't really think on it. I'm just going to listen to it a little bit more, and then we'll cut this one, and we'll post some updates as it goes along.
Scared a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a widow. I've been a widow for 6 years. I live alone, you know, but I put my trust in God, you know, put my trust in God and ask God for his protection every day and keep his guardian angels around me. But, you know, I really feel for the families, you know, even feel for the accused, you know. It's just sad. It's really sad.
Have you ever seen anything like this happen here?
No, never in my life.
Not like that.
Never
anyway.
in my life. Like I said, it's just unbelievable. It's just sad situation. Really sad situation. You know how some families, just lives are destroyed 2.2 seconds. So.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's see what else there is.
All right, so that was Camille.
They've connected him to what happened at the church this morning, which is a really sad thing. I spoke with somebody in the parking lot a little bit earlier, that's supposedly pretty good friends with him, which I do believe because of the emotions the guy was showing, that this guy was a stand-up guy and would do things for anybody.
Yeah,
did say he was an Army vet. Have no clue if that's what the truth is to that. But if he was, and something triggered him, I can see why. Because, I mean, what do we do for our vets? I mean, a lot of this is starting to happen nowadays.
Even a vet.
Something's got to be done. You know, we got to start taking care of our people. A lot of sickness going on. It's got to be changed.
Did you learn his name by chance?
I did, but I'm not going to speak of that until, you know, I mean, obviously I don't want to say somebody's name and then not actually be the name, but I'm pretty certain that, you know, I do know the name. But
That's fair. And you live nearby?
I'm about a mile up the road here.
So, I mean, just seeing all this has to be really troubling.
Yeah, it is. It is troubling. A mile from home, you know, and obviously, you know, it's getting closer for all of us, right, to home. It's getting a lot closer for all of us. So when it starts getting this close.
Service where you have children there with families, all of them taking part in a religious activity, you know, a church service, Grand Blanc, where all of this started.
Okay, aerial view again.
Morning. The church was fully engulfed in flames. The flames could be seen from. It's catastrophic.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. And you've got a church, I don't know how many doors they have to get out of the church. I mean, that's the problem. I don't know how old the church is and what kind of, fire, I mean, all that kind of stuff. But you've got hundreds of people, according to the police there, and you've got a shooter inside. I mean, that's just crazy.
I wonder if they're counting
that's what the police are trying to figure out right now. You see a stretcher right there. This is video that was shot earlier.
Yeah, we have some eyewitness sound that.
And found out he was in another car. I was trying to get to that car so that I could get him in the vehicle. There were some elderly ladies and some sisters in our ward that are in our congregation that we got brought into our vehicle so that because they can't run very fast, and so we wanted to make sure that they were safe. As soon as I saw the door open with the shooter and with his rifle, that's when I tried to drive away, and that's when he shot at us. And so there was multiple shots, probably a few dozen before that even happened. I didn't see anybody else get shot. I'm aware, from what I know, there are people that were shot, and some that, at least one that I know of that was killed.
And kind of in the aftermath, in this point you're at right now, what's going through your head right now?
You know, just confusion. You want to make sense of these things. You never will. It's you know, it's a mental illness, I'm assuming. It really can't be any.
Just the scope, trying to wrap your head about what happened.
Okay,
he
guys.
still had a fresh bandage on his hand. after he was recalled.
They'll still be investigating this over the next few days.
To other places that are trauma.
So, yeah, another sad event. Let's see, we've had just in the past few weeks, right? We had Charlie Kirk, we had the school shooting, we had a church shooting in Minnesota, now we have another church shooting in Michigan. Boy, they're coming out of the woodwork. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? I'm sorry, but I can't sit there and take this up to a mental illness, especially whenever it's pre-planned. You know, mental illness is you just go off your rocker and you grab something and you do it. Whenever you have pre-planned like this and you carry through with it and you carry it out, that is not mental illness. That's just right down demonic. It's that bad. It's not mental illness whenever you pre-plan it. Sorry, but if you can think and you that's why pre-planned murder, or sorry, can't say that I guess on YouTube anymore. Maybe someday you can. Unalived is like what they want to say. Whenever you pre-plan that, that's why you typically will wind up with the death penalty, and a lot of states that still carry it. Because when you pre-plan, they consider that you have the mental capacity, you knew what you was doing, and you went ahead and did it and carried it out. That is not mental illness. Even whenever you go to like psychotic, I mean really psychotic behavior, whenever people I'm trying to think of the word, serial killers. Yeah, there's, whenever you get into them, they pre-plan a lot of it. They know what they're doing. They're thinking about it. They're thinking how to do it. And that's not a simple psychotic break whenever you're doing that. So, I don't know. Anyway, we will keep up with this one here also over the next few days. So, I'll try and get back with this and see what else is found out on it. And we will do a couple more videos on this one, unfortunately. So anyway, welcome to our second episode already. I was not planning on this one. It's like I just popped off of my other video that I was putting together, and I seen this, and it's like, oh, maybe I should go ahead and do this one real quick, because this is another big event. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the events is getting tiresome to count. There's getting to be too many. Too many wackos. Insanity. Anyway, for those interested in taking a break from this type of crap, getting your mind off of it, you can go over to our gaming channel, Weeby Games. I like to play games to get my mind off this shit a lot of times. But anyway, you can go over there, Weeby Games, over on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you're interested in travel, you can go ahead and go over to our travel channel, Ready Set Travel. Explore with us as we get travel to different places and sample the food and the culture. I still need to post some more videos over there, but I will try to do that. This is not a fun time. So anyway, please like, subscribe. It helps us out, and I will try to make more content on this as I push this forward. Every now and then I will get a break in, and you can catch me over on Weeby Games. And here and there as we travel, I will try to get some more videos up over there. Oh, on the travel video, by the way, I will be posting not just the good stuff about travel, but I will be posting some of the bad stuff, some of the news, and some of the places like some of the breakouts that has happened over the past few years with the cartels and stuff over in Mexico. So yeah, whenever you're traveling, you do want to keep your eyes open, pay attention to the news, pay attention to what's going on in the world, the politics especially. That stuff had heated up in Mexico ever since, well, even before Trump. Trump's actually cracking down on it. That's a good thing. But during Biden, whenever they was trying to do some crackdowns, cartels actually, they, since there was some extradition going on to the U.S. and stuff, they was hitting some places pretty hard. And I'm talking about like schools and stuff like that also, even down there, where they basically, I think it was, heard a story on San Miguel del Lente. We were there. Yeah, nice place. You have a lot of nice places in Mexico, but they actually, some cartel members actually went into a school and they were killing students, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. They were shooting them on an hourly basis until certain cartel members were released from the jail cells. And it went on for hours before they were able to really do anything. And one of the leaders of the cartels, or the like second in command, was actually there. And I will say, whenever Trump came in, he at least he went after him. Yeah, it might have been going into a sovereign nation and stuff, I understand that, but by labeling them as a terrorist organization, pretty much he's making the statement, we've had it, this is terrorist organization level. And that's what they have become over the past few years, especially under Biden. Now, we were there when Biden actually first got in, and everything was, there was still a few incidences here and there. We weren't around them. And we were there for 2 years, and we really didn't run into much trouble. We actually enjoyed it. We had a couple of run-ins with the cops trying to get their little bribe, which ironically was in Mexico City, was the only place where we really ran into that with one cop. I'll tell that story a little later. So, but anyway, I'll get into those stories on this channel as well, and I will link some of those stories over to the Ready Set Travel channel. But Ready Set Travel, I'm going to try to focus mainly on the good stuff and just enjoying the travel. But I will also mention some of the bad stuff, but that will mainly be posted here on this channel with some links over there to that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Well, can't say hope you enjoyed, not this. But anyway, you know what I mean on it. I was mainly talking about the Mexico deal whenever I was saying that. So anyway, like and subscribe, help us out, and we'll try to create some more content dealing with this. Remember, I'm just getting into this, so I actually just started this. This is the second episode. For those, once again, if you want to get away from this, go over to gaming. You can check out the games. They're mainly horror games I play, but I do play some others. So go over to Weeby Games over on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Ready Set Travel actually on YouTube, Daily Motion, and BitChute. And we do have one other channel, P-Vault, which is basically just dealing with old public domain videos, movies that had already been out of copyright, and so we're posting that over on PVault. So if you want to go over there and just enjoy a movie night with like a Dragnet series, you can do that. It'll just help us out. Thanks again, and we will catch you the next trip around.